It just exploded, my friend. Get ready because your heart is going to beat faster than a 50-meter dash. The Raiders are in the midst of an explosive sequence involving injuries, a multi-million-dollar trade, and a dispute with a rival. The entire NFL is in shock over what's happening, and I'm going to tell you all about it now. But first, if you love the Raiders, like and subscribe because the news is breaking. The Las Vegas Raiders have officially placed defensive tackle Christian Wilkins on the physically unable to perform PUP list as training camp approaches. That's raising more concerns than ever. Wilkins, who suffered a season-ending foot injury in Week 5 last year, was expected to return at the start of training camp, but a setback in his recovery delayed everything. The Raiders announced the PUP designation on Friday, meaning Wilkins will be unable to play until cleared by doctors. The move doesn't count toward the 90-man roster and could be activated at any time during training camp. Still, it signals a worrying stagnation. Wilkins, 29, was the crown jewel of last offseason, signing a 4-year, $110 million contract with $82.75 million guaranteed. He arrived in Las Vegas after a record-breaking 9-sack season with the Dolphins and was expected to anchor a defensive line featuring Maxx Crosby and Malcolm Kuons. But fate had other plans. All three finished the season on the injured list. In just 5 games last year, Wilkins recorded 2 sacks and 17 tackles before suffering a Jones fractura, severe fracture in the bone connecting the pinky toe to the foot. Surgery was performed immediately, but complications also arose. He missed all OTAs and mini-camp. Coach Pete Carroll praised Wilkins' commitment, saying he's been there and trying hard, but made it clear he's not ready to play. The recovery has been long and challenging, and now the Raiders wonder when or if their highest-paid lineman will return to form. And just as the defensive line looks shaky, another name has emerged that could shake up the entire unit. Let's talk about the potential arrival of an NFL megastar who could reshape the Raiders' defense. In a league where bold moves separate contenders from pretenders, the Las Vegas Raiders may be poised for a franchise-altering leap. As they struggle to regain the AFC and battle for a 2025 playoff spot, a bombshell has emerged that could instantly catapult the defense to elite status. According to NFL analyst Daniel Arwas, the Raiders are being held to a stunning trade proposal involving none other than Dallas Cowboys star Micah Parsons. Here's the deal that's got the entire league buzzing. The Raiders qualified Micah Parsons and a 2026 fourth-round pick, while the Cowboys would get Las Vegas's first-round picks in 2026 and 2027, plus a 2027 second-round pick. It's a steep price, 3 premium picks for a defensive player. But Parsons is no defender. He's a generational talent, a destroyer of players, and one of the most disruptive forces in football. At just 25 years old, Parsons has already established himself as a nightmare for opposing offenses. In 2024 alone, he recorded 43 total tackles, 12 sacks, 2 induced fumbles, and a pass deflection, all in just 13 games. His ability to bend the edge, collapse the pocket, and terrorize quarterbacks is nearly unmatched. Add in Maxx Crosby, heart of the Raiders' current defense, and suddenly Las Vegas boasts one of the most terrifying edge-rushing duos the NFL has ever seen. But what makes this situation even more intriguing is the growing tension in Dallas. Parsons is reportedly seeking a monstrous new contract, something the Cowboys have been hesitant to offer. As negotiations stall and frustration grows, the possibility of a trade once unthinkably is becoming more realistic. And if Parsons is indeed available, the Raiders should be ready to pounce. This is where head coach Pete Carroll becomes a central figure, known for building dominant defenses during his tenure in Seattle. Carroll is no stranger to working with defensive superstars. Imagine what he could do with Crosby and Parsons on his line and out. Only would it elevate the defense, it would change its entire identity. Las Vegas would go from a group seeking consistency to a unit that opposing offenses would fear every Sunday. Trading multiple high picks would be risky, no doubt, but the Raiders have been stuck in retreat mode for too long. Sometimes, to turn the narrative around, you need to pull off a big swing, and this it would be a grand slam. For now, everything is speculation. But with Parsons' situation in Dallas increasingly unclear, Las Vegas is expected to continue monitoring and preparing, because if this deal goes through, it won't just be about adding a player, it's about changing the Raiders' fortunes. And while this potential blockbuster could boost the defense, the Raiders still have unfinished business on offense, especially at wide receiver. But just as they begin exploring this market, a surprising turnaround from a division rival could derail those plans. The Las Vegas Raiders have spent an off-season quietly, and sometimes not so quietly, pursuing veteran wide receivers to complement their new offense. Despite selecting 3 heat catchers in April's draft, the front office remains aggressive, knowing that pursuing Geno Smith with proven weapons is crucial to maximizing their success in the silver and black. Names like Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, and Yawan Jennings have all been linked to Vegas in recent weeks. But now the stakes have been raised thanks to an unexpected turn of events involving a division rival. On Thursday, the Los Angeles Chargers were caught off guard by a regrettable development. Veteran wide receiver Mike Williams informed the team that he plans to retire. After returning to the team that selected him 7th overall in 2017 on a 1-year contract, Williams's decision took everyone by surprise. He was still recovering from a recent injury and had just started training camp on the physically unable to perform list. His withdrawal, however, created an immediate and massive void in the Chargers' offense and opens the door to a fierce race for wide receivers in the AFC West. From the Raiders' perspective, the timing couldn't be worse. The Chargers' receiving core is dangerously thin. Although they recently signed rookie Trey Harris after a contract impasse, their top remaining options are second-round draft pick Lad Menanke and former first-round pick Quinton Johnston. Beyond that, not much. With limited experience and depth, Los Angeles suddenly has every reason to return to the free agent and trade market star, getting the very same wide receivers the Raiders have been pursuing. What was once a strategic off-season pursuit has now become a race, and the Raiders are no longer running alone. Geno Smith, signed this off-season as the franchise's new starting quarterback, needs reliable NFL-ready targets. Hot guys may shine occasionally, but asking them to carry the full load is a risky proposition. That's why Las Vegas has players who can step in, mentor the younger players, and make immediate contributions. But right now, any call from the Raiders for a veteran receiver could be intercepted literally and figuratively by the Chargers. Take Terry McLaurin, for example. The Washington Commanders are still sorting out contractual complications with their star wide receiver. If McLaurin is made available via trade, both Las Vegas and Los Angeles will likely be in the running. The same goes for Yawan Jennings, whose future in San Francisco remains uncertain. Suddenly, every move is under pressure. Every offer may need to be more appealing. Every hesitation could make the Raiders a player they can't afford to lose to a division rival. Even free agents like Keenan Allen, though unlikely, are back in the mix. Vegas needs to act quickly, consistently, and aggressively if they want to stay ahead of a desperate Chargers who just lost one of their key offensive weapons. The message is clear. The Raiders can't afford to sit around and wait. The AFC West is fiercely competitive, the margins too narrow, and now with Los Angeles officially returning to the wide receiver market. The war for the best pass catchers has begun. Las Vegas has the quarterback. They've upgraded their offensive line. The backfield is stable, but until they secure the final weapon, their offense remains short-handed. If the Raiders can keep Christian Wilkins healthy, pull off a blockbuster trade for Micah Parsons and still win the race for a veteran wide receiver? Will we finally have a team ready to return to the playoffs, or is there still something missing for this roster to truly scare the AFC? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, but I'll be back later to update you with the latest Raiders news.